All right, good morning, guys. Hope you're having a great day. So a few things today. Some topics I want to touch up on. Now, on a seasonal basis, we see all these trends. We see a lot of stats in the market, but then how do we use them? That's the main question. Now, seasonally, the trend in the season in September, if you were to zoom out for the last 50 years, in most cases, September is a sideways or a down month, right? I mean, there could be various reasons for that. I mean, whatever it may be, you can look more deep into that in your own time. So September usually is a down month, they say, or sideways. It doesn't usually go up. But it does, but not as out of the last 50 years. Maybe very few years it went up. Okay, so most of the times it was sideways or downside. Now, some things that are happening. I was reading Jim Cramer's notes, and then some people that I follow, what they're saying about the market or things that are going on. Number one is geopolitical stuff that's going on. Especially with China, the way they're whatever they're doing with their markets. For some days they're up, they make investors bullish, but then their gap downs, their gap ups is all over the place. Especially a stock like Baba. I mean, it's up 5 days for one day, then it's down 5 days, $5 for a day, right? JD, PTD were looking great yesterday. Now they've gapped them down, right? So what exactly is happening? I mean, it's very hard to tell. So manage your risk when trading certain names. There's nothing certain in the market. Anything can happen, right? And then a lot of new IPOs this year, right? I mean, when new IPOs come in, then obviously there are more people taking share or money into their, stalls, you can say. I mean, if there are five people selling a certain thing, and then a sixth and seventh one also show up, then the money gets shifted, right? So that's another thing. And then the Fed, a lot of lingering around Fed. What exactly will happen with the rates and tapering? Because now we're in September. You know, for the last 6 months, we've been telling you keep playing levels. What's going to happen. Powell commented that until 2022 or 23, we're not going to raise no rates. But 2021 is coming near to an end, right? So we do want to pay attention now that what the comments will be by Jerome or anyone else, for tapering. And then Europe is they're dialing back their stimulus, right? So let's see what happens with that. And then so these are some of the things. And then now back to reality, which are the levels that we play. But these are some of the topics which are going around in the markets right now. And so SPY, as long as we're holding above 450, the uptrend continues. If we fail 450, 446 is likely. If we do not bounce from 446, if we don't bounce from 446, we do have 442 all the way down to right here, this level right here. Okay, so we do have a 442 test, and then 442 will be very critical. Okay, break of 442, then 450 will be a top for I think few weeks at least, and then we go into the chop zone. Okay, tech cues, near all-time highs. The chart looks great, right? As long as we continue holding above 380, right? I think we see more upside. And right now, I don't have my other platform open, but I do see the SPY and Qs bounced, right? And so let's see how we open. But as long as our levels are held, we play the market accordingly. Again, an index does not just have one stock; it has 50 stocks. If the index is red, that does not mean that all 50 will be down. Maybe out of 50, 20 are heavily down, and then the other 30 are doing fine. So it depends on your position, what you're playing. So you have to be very picky with the trades, like we always say. Have a legit reason why you're entering into a certain trade if you're entering on your own. Okay. Energy, nothing. It's just stuck in this zone, so we don't play, right? We wanted to play above these levels. It did not happen. Then 49 was the level. It still did not happen, right? And so we avoid. So why waste money there? Financials, same thing. 38.60 plus we need, and then a 39 plus hold. Okay. Until then, there's nothing. You're basically gambling with your money in these trends. You might catch calls and puts on certain names, but it's very hard to tell what they're going to do. So a stock like GS, just an example, GS, right? I mean, there's no direction here. I mean, on a longer time frame, it's an uptrend if you're playing equity, and if you're playing further out calls, you're probably up nice in profits. But if you're playing weekly calls or 2 week calls, with 1-2 week time, it's very hard to predict what will happen. This can easily dip for the next 2-3 days, and then boom, one day it just goes up. So how do you figure out when to buy? And when it goes up, maybe it dips the next day, and then now you're stuck in calls, right? So know what you're buying and why you're buying it. Then LULU, this stock right here. If we go on the weekly, it has a monster run for the last many months, right? Especially from the pandemic, lows of 128 and now trading near 400, and it's been making very big moves. And today it's opening at all-time highs at 432. So they beat their earnings, 145 billion revenues versus 1.33, and then their earnings they beat big, 165 to $1.21. Right, great comments by the company, and they just keep doing good. However, they're doing it. Maybe their e-commerce sales are strong, whatever it may be. But Lulu, today, what happens? Does it give us a move all the way to the ups? I'm not gonna be playing it, right? I mean, we missed the move. It was an earnings play. Premiums will be high. It's very hard to predict what will happen. But when a stock gaps up like this, usually there's one scenario which I like, and I'll just draw it here for you guys if it works out. So it's going to be opening at 432. Okay, so 432, and let's just go back to the weekly one more time, and we have okay. So it's opening at, so this is a 5-minute chart I have open. Lulu's going to be opening up at 432. On the first 5-minute candle, hell no, I will never buy a stock. I mean, when it's gapped up like this, right? Unless you know something, or if you have inside information from hedge funds who are just going to spike this higher. If this stock dips towards 420, okay, if it dips towards 420, 421, 418, 417, like a $3 to $4 move around 420, it has a good chance if it takes out 430 again. Okay, so pay attention. If it dips to 420 and it takes out 430 again, this stock likely hits 440 today. This is just my opinion, and you can probably take like $1, $2 options to $3, $4, $5. Okay, this is based on 5-minute charts. So in the first 5-10 minutes, it dips to 420, and then within the 10 minutes or 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 9:15, like you just have to watch it technically. If it takes out 430 again, then 440 is likely on Lulu. Okay, so this can be the play if it happens, and if you have some money that you want to manage with this, that's something I need to keep an eye on. So that was Lulu. Amazon, a lot of guys in the group have started trading Amazon, and you guys have become very good with it, right? And we've nailed every move. If you guys watched LB's Insta post yesterday on my stock life, you guys will, you guys can see it there. But Amazon, we haven't missed any move in Amazon. We have not missed, and when Amazon pays, it pays big. That's the reason I play Amazon so much, because the gains are in bulk, and I just sit on my hands. I'm very patient. For the last 2 days, I have not entered no trades. I have my Amazon, which I took off some. I'm still holding a lot, right? So no need to rush into anything. We have a gap fill coming towards 35.98. But this week, like I said, I'm not looking for an upside move, right? If you're continuously looking for Amazon to just keep running, I mean, of course they can. I want it to run. I mean, I'm in the position, I make money. But I'm just realistic. As long as we hold above 3,500, that's the most important level for this week. It can probably go up, and tomorrow it dips, okay? As long as we hold this 3,500 level, the longer we hold this level, the better it is. I personally don't want Amazon to run this week. I mean, if you guys have positions, I'm sorry, you might hate me for this. I hope it runs for you then, of course. But the longer we hold above 3,500 for the next 1 week or 2 weeks, this resistance, 3,700, will not matter much. Okay, we might stall here for a very limited time, and then it will be through very fast towards 4,000. Okay, there's a reason behind this. Next time we do a session, somebody remind me, I'll explain why. Right, but if we run through here, right, I mean, we'll make that short-term money, but then 3,700 is gonna stall for a long time. Then again, we'll be unless we have some amazing news or there's something in the market going on. But then 3,700 will become very hard, and then there's a good chance we dip back to 3,500. Okay, so the longer we hold 3,500 on Amazon, the more chances that it takes all-time highs faster. And then we have, LB, let me know if you have any ticker you want to cover. Some guys were watching Walmart. It's on their thing. Walmart, I'm just very patient with it, with the leaves, and I have some spreads for October 1st. I bought them very safe, keeping this downside in mind. That's exactly what's happened. As long as we take about 148 and then our magic number right here, just keep this in mind. 154 close on daily, right? I'm patiently waiting with some funds that I've just set aside for Walmart. Maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 1 month, maybe it takes 6 weeks. I have no idea. Maybe it takes 6 months. I don't know, right? But 154 close, we get on a Walmart. That's likely going to 160 and 180 coming week. And let me tell you something. When Walmart takes over 154, and if it follows through to 160, 180, you have a chance of taking 50-cent options to $3 on Walmart. 50-cent options will go to $4, and I will play them right in front of you. That's a 4 to 500% move I'm expecting. Okay, at 100% you can scale out if that follows through, and then boom, you nail that trade with your full size position, whatever it may be, right? So if you have a $10,000 account, for example, you're playing $200 to $300 per day, or on your average positions, you're keeping $9,500 in your account like a disciplined trader and managing the 500, right? And then when the time comes, now Walmart time, just an example, it comes, you throw in maybe $500 into the 154 call. It's a picky trade, it's a good trade. You buy a month out, right? You put in $500. That $500 has the potential to give you more than $2,000 in profit. That's a 20% increase in your account, okay? But it requires patience, it requires skill, it requires understanding what compounding is, okay? So with this, I mean, as a trader, you have to spend a lot of time in the markets. And if you have a $10,000 account, clearly you're probably a new trader, or you've been trading for a few months, maybe 1 year, or maybe you're still learning and you're accumulating funds. And with a 10K account, you have to manage that account like your life depends on it, okay? Because there must be a lot of money for you. That's the reason you have a $10,000 account. So don't take every dollar for granted in your don't take it for granted, right? So every dollar in your account matters. It matters a lot. Every penny matters in your account. Know this, okay? Don't be buying $1 lottos with the 10K account when you're not even on the profit side. Miss that trade. Let it go to 500%. Let it go to 1,000%. Who gives a shit? Trade the right way, the way you're supposed to trade, okay? And with this, I will guys finish it. Any other tickers, just type in the chat. I'll go over it. But just stay patient with your trades. And Baba CS, or somebody's asking to do Baba and PDD. Baba, there's not much. Like I said, I mean, they're just gapping up, gapping down. Right now, all I see is this range that has been formed. On Baba, I keep repeating myself over. I make this comment at least 3 to 4 times in the chat, I think. I'll write it down here for you guys. 180 is must, and 220 is confirmation. That's 60 points away. From these current levels, that's 55 points away, right? So what's the rush, right? Nobody plays Baba more than me, but I have not played for many weeks now, okay? I mean, I got spreads for October near the money in case it works, that's fine. But 220 is confirmation for Baba. It basically, if you have a small account like a 10K account, you're trying to catch this dip. If the V-shape works here, you'll get paid, okay? If this V-shape happens, you will get paid. But keeping in mind this sideways move, like the way sometimes stocks happen to move, you're gonna lose money on your account. There are much other better trades in the markets that you can catch, okay? So 220, when Baba gets 220 and holds here, you know, it gets to this level, holds here, whatever it does, about 220, you will get a chance to play this towards 250, okay? But 220 is must on Baba, which is still 55 points away. And then 180 is just to get some investor confidence back in. They'll start looking into accumulating Baba at 180, okay? All right, guys, 824. See you guys in the chat. Any other questions, just type in there, and we'll go on from there. Thank you.